Brian Terrian from the Disability Digest, and you are about to listen to a conversation with one of our members and learn four very important things about how you can use your free membership and our free Medicare service to maximize your Medicare. What you'll learn is how you can get educated about all the different options that you are entitled to through Medicare. That's one. Two is how we can work with you and help you understand which plans are available in your area and would be best suited for you to consider, enroll in, and use. Three, this individual shares his experience about working with other insurance agents, a local agent in the area. It shares his experience and his opinion on the pros and cons of that. And then the last piece that you'll learn is how a working relationship with us here at the Disability Digest will help you in the future to stay on the most appropriate plan for your needs. So I hope you enjoy the conversation, and I hope you enjoy the work that we do here at the Disability Digest. If you do, please give us a like with the video, share the video with other friends that are out there. And I thank this individual who remains anonymous for making this generous contribution to the Disability Digest. Make it a great day. Thanks.
Hey there, Brian. How you doing?
I am fantastic.
Okay, good. I'm sorry I missed you. I picked it up. I was on the other side of the house, and I heard it ring, and I just don't move that fast no more. So my running days are over.
I have a question for you while I have you here, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But the work that we do in helping our members run their disability, understand how to keep it, transition onto Medicare, find the right plan. I wanted to ask you if you had any feedback that you would be willing to allow me to share with others, because there's others that they get approved for disability, they have some uncertainties, they don't know what to do about Medicare. Were we able to make your life easier? If we were, how so? Anything that you could share with me on that?
Well, I've actually have, and like I say, I know you talked to a bunch of people, and I may have told you, and I may have told the other fella, Philip, I think it was, I talked to, but really what my experience was I called, actually I used to own a business, and I said, well, hell, I'll just call, pardon my language, but sometimes I can't help it, but I just said, I'll call my agent that I used to use, because he always done a good job. He took care of me. He had Blue Cross Blue Shield and all that, and I was fine with that. I wound up not being too impressed with the Blue Cross plan, but really what I was less impressed with was he acted like he didn't act like, but I could just, he didn't put the effort into me that he did whenever I was paying him big money. And I say big money, it wasn't a big company, but I kind of got the feeling that he don't really probably maybe make so much on doing Medicare. So just to kind of give you the, what happened, I just called him up, everything was good conversation just like we have, and there wasn't nothing negative anyway, but he's like, well, I'll call you today at 5:15. So somebody gives me an exact time like that, it's kind of like, 7:30 that night, he calls me. He actually texted me, excuse me. And whenever he texted me, he texted me a website for Blue Cross Insurance. He texted me the form. He said, fill out this form and send it to them. And that's the difference between your service and what I experienced with my local agent. Because, honestly, I try to do everything I can to keep my money local. Until something like that. And then I said, I'd been talking to Philip, and I said, you know what, man, Philip, ain't that his name, Philip? Am I right?
That is.
Okay. So I said, Philip, man, this dude right here, he knew all about it. And see, I'm not so sure. The local guy, yeah, he knows Medicare, but that ain't all he does. You know what I mean? So whenever I talk to Philip's going into all these benefits and all this, all this stuff and being very helpful, and I just didn't get that local. That's my experience, and to me, that's as good of a reference or referral or whatever as you can get. I mean, it's just a whole lot better service. But I think the biggest thing is that y'all deal with Medicare. You know Medicare in and outs, and a regular insurance agent, I just don't feel like they really care. I don't know that they make enough money on it to really get involved enough to really tell people. And even if they do, they're not going to tell them about silver sneakers.
Right.
Well, and all this other stuff.
I thank you so much for sharing that. I avoided or tried to avoid for years having our team and our people get involved in Medicare, and this was like full disclosure. I tried to have other companies do it, and from Health Plan 1, Transition Assist, Benefit Planners, we went through a whole bunch of them, but the problem was the same thing you experienced, is that most people that do Medicare work in the over 65 market, and you look at their websites and they've got a picture of a couple walking down the beach with a glass of wine, and one hand sandals in another, and life is good. They don't have medical issues. It's not our case. I mean, most people here have 5 doctors, 10 medications, and the financial nuances of all of that, and to get them into the Medicare. So anyway, it's great feedback. Philip does super work, and I thank you for sharing that. Hopefully others will understand the work that we do.
And I'll say one more thing, too, is Philip, I have full confidence. I mean, he told me it would be him that called November. Maybe it would be him, maybe it would be you. But whoever calls me, I have full confidence that that person's going to call me and say, look, I looked at this. This is your best option. And, we're either going to change or we're not. But either way, based on the service, I'm going to be with y'all, whatever insurance I get. If I do the local guy, he's just going to say we're going to re-up with Blue Cross every year because that's who he sells. And I'm sure that's to an extent. I mean, I've been in business. I know business on that end and how it works. And yes, you're going to push your products, but I kind of have a feeling that whenever there's another product that comes along that's better, you're probably more apt to kind of try to sell that product, get over there where the better one's at. I might be right or might be wrong on that, but I just have more confidence in the information that Philip was telling me than, the local guy. It's just like he really, and I know he's kind of, I guess, probably new to it, but it was still better than an aged, or a, seasoned insurance person. And another thing I did notice, too, whenever I talked to the insurance agent, I used to deal with his, woman, the receptionist. Or I wouldn't really call them receptionists. Usually the front office girls at insurance agencies. A lot of them know more than agents do sometimes. But I used to deal with her, and then he's like, "Well, I'm the one that handles Medicare. You have to do it through me." And I guess that's the rules or whatever. So that was that was another thing, So, but I just felt like it was real good service. And I had no complaints. I mean, everybody's done what they said, and then they called and checked up, make sure everything was all right. And I mean, that's I hope they compensate y'all enough to do what you're doing, if you want to know the truth.
Well, I actually, I've been asked a question that I've never been asked before, and I just want to air it out for those that are, enjoying this conversation replay, is that the Medicare is highly regulated, and the commissions are determined by Medicare, and they're not plan specific. So, like in most markets, we have 3 to 4 of the top, sometimes 5 of the top different companies. But it doesn't matter which one you write. But so that and everybody knows, and maybe I explained this to you before, I mean, we don't exchange money when we work with you, but we're paid by the insurance company, whichever one we find that's the best fit for our members, they pay us. So it allows us to do a few things. Allows us to provide service to you with options of plans, and allows us to do it, not charge you, and allows us to get paid here and put people back to work.